Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. Today, after the old day job, I am off to check out the new horror film, Scream. So what's the plot of this movie? Well, it tells the story of a family that decide they need to get away for a weekend. They need some good bonding time. Dad's been working an awful lot and he hasn't been able to spend a lot of quality time with his kids and wife, so they decide it is time to pack up and head out for the weekend at a local resort. But little did they know, that resort had been taken over by a group of killers who are going to live stream all the murders that they do in this resort. Guys, this film looks like it's going to be a bloody good time. This is brought to us by the same people who have made the Terrifier movies, Terrifier 1, 2, and soon to be 3. This film is also starring a slew of horror legends. We have Felissa Rose, we have Tony Todd, Dee Wallace, and Bill Moseley. My gosh, I mean, this film is just loaded with a bunch of just like, oh, I know that guy. Oh, there's another one. So you know what? It is enough of me sitting here yammering because first off, I gotta go to work. And then I am off to check out Scream. Welcome back, just getting home, and guys, I enjoyed this film. It was a good old-fashioned slasher splatter-a-thon. So let's get this started, shall we? We're going to get things started with negatives, then move into the positives to end the video on the ever-so-important high note. One thing about this film that bothered me was it really takes its time getting to the good stuff. Now, it may have only been like a half hour of the film, but it really takes its time getting to where you want to go. And this isn't like slow burn. It's just kind of slow. It takes its time. And I guess it's trying to do some kind of character development or something, get you on board with the family, make them likable and all. But to be perfectly honest, in a film like this, I don't think that was necessarily needed. This is the kind of movie that you just want to see people get in there and start having fun and let the story go. It's not necessarily something that needs deep character development or anything like that. And this could just be nitpicking, to be perfectly honest, but if I have to find one thing about the film that I would have to say is a negative, the beginning of the film kind of moves slowly. Now, when the movie does get going, it is great, and you can't take your eyes off of the screen. There is just so much fun going on. It is a great watch. So I guess we're in the positives. The first thing, actually, this is more of a warning. This is not necessarily a negative. If you're somebody that cannot handle blood and guts, you do not handle that stuff very well at all, this is not the movie for you, because it is a splatter horror film. There is blood and guts flying all over the screen most of the time when this movie starts moving. So a good maybe hour, 20 minutes of people getting their heads cut off, body parts mangled, opened up. There's all sorts of creative kills. Let's just put it that way. This film is made by the Terrifier people. If you haven't seen those movies, which if you're somebody who doesn't like blood and guts, you probably have not seen those movies. But if you have seen those movies, then you know what I'm talking about. Their films are gore fest. So for those of you that love the old ooey gooey red stuff, this is definitely up your alley. Okay, now into actual positives, not mixed positives. First thing I want to talk about was Jeffrey Combs. Boy, howdy, he is just great, isn't he? He plays our main villain. Well, I guess you would call him the main villain. He's kind of like the master of ceremonies, right? He's handling things, he's sending the slashers out to go do the killings and whatnot, and he is so much fun on screen. Every time that guy shows up, he chews every ounce of scene he possibly can. But then again, I expect that from Jeffrey Combs. The other actors in the film, they do a pretty good job. Our two younger actors, but you know, they're younger. The two kids, I should say, they're younger, so I'll give them a free pass. Everyone else in this does a pretty dang good job. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but he plays Art the Clown. He's also in this film, and that was something I also had a blast with too. There wasn't a lot of people in the theater, and so Charming Amy and I were sitting back there when we were watching this, and anytime somebody would pop up on screen that we knew it was one of those, oh, look right there, that's Tony Todd, oh, there's Felissa Rose. And it really brought a lot of fun to the film when these guys would just pop out, do their scene, and then that's it. But anytime these guys show up, it was always great enjoyment. The practical effects in this film are off the chain. Amazingly well-crafted practical effects. There might have been maybe some CGI somewhere in this film. I highly doubt it. If there was, it was extremely well done because I didn't notice it. The practical effects look so good. Each one of these kills is absolutely bloody and brutal, and you can feel every single slash that our killers do on these people. It's very well done, very realistic, and gory and bloody and nasty, and all the stuff that you love in a good old-fashioned splatter horror film. So guys, honestly, in all honesty, I would have to say this is a solid film to get out there, check out in theaters. I think it's still going on. This wasn't one of those special one night only. I think it just started on a Wednesday for some reason. It is showing, at least here in Kansas City, it's still showing this weekend. If you're a big fan of good old-fashioned slasher splatters, this is definitely one for you. I think this is, honestly, in my opinion, I really think this is going to be an ongoing thing. I really feel like we're going to see a lot more of these films coming out down the line. Even though there wasn't a whole lot of people in the audience for this, this is one of those films I see is going to definitely catch on with a big-time cult following. Alright guys, thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. Get out there, support independent film, and if you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's one more thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.